Do you remember Cubix? Do you remember Cubix? Does anybody here remember Cubix? Anybody at all? Does anybody remember Cubix? Sorry, I was running. Do you remember Cubix?
Stars and Stripes!
Hello and welcome to another Carrot Scraps video, and by another, I mean the 48th. So Cubix was a CGI animated TV show created by the Korean company called Cinepix and licensed by 4Kids Entertainment in North America. The show aired for 2 seasons on Kids WB, lasting from August 11th, 2001 to May 10th, 2003. So it's interesting, I always knew that Cubix was a Korean show, but I had thought that it aired in Korea first, and then a North American company decided that they wanted to dub it for themselves. But I can't find a previous air date to 2001, so I think Cubix potentially aired at the same time in Korea as it did in North America, if it aired in Korea at all. The other day, I replied to a nostalgia thread on Twitter and mentioned this gem from my childhood. And honestly, I was surprised to find how many people had erased this show from their memory. And I was especially remorseful for bringing the show up and providing what I would call an animation exorcism on people's memories. So I thought it would be an appropriate time to look back at Cubix episode 1 and see what all the hubbub was about, because everybody was talking about this show back in the day.
Check out that pesticide!
Hey, looking good! Back to work! You jerks act like you never seen gardening bots before!
Hey, botanics, we like to watch you work, baby!
Great. I'm glad that this show starts with robot catcalling. So Cubix is about a world where robots are integrated into every part of the future society. I'm a little confused on this, but it seems like they are both forced to perform manual labor, but they're also considered like people's friends.
You've got to try the new Hop Twix. With Hop Twix, traveling's never been more fun.
I don't know, it's unclear if they're like robots from Futurama, where they have jobs and also friends, or if they're forced to do these jobs. But while humans and robots coexist, it certainly seems like robots still function like machinery does in our age. Again, it's hard for me to tell. I'm sure in episode 2 it'll make a lot more sense. But I think what they were going for was something like Pokemon here. During multiple times in the episode, someone mentions that everyone has a robot, and it's like, who are you if you don't have a robot, that kind of thing. So friendship and teamwork is naturally very important in the world of Cubix.
Green's your color, baby!
Green? I'm sick of green! Anyone around here like the color green?
Wow. I've never seen such contempt for the color green. I wish I loved anything as much as this robot hates the color green.
Personally, I prefer purple. Who else likes green?
So I'm not really going to talk about the antagonist, Dr. K, in this video very much, but essentially the start of the episode shows robots being taken over by a sinister force. Dr. K both reminds me of Dr. Wily because of the way he looks, but also because of this plot. A city full of robots and a mad scientist turns the robots against everyone, and everybody's like, robots are awesome, so clearly somebody's doing something mean to them. I feel like it's a very common plot in Mega Man and also Mighty Number 9. But that's not important. What is important about Cubix is the horrifying animation.
Whoa.
And I want to say, of course, many people put hard work into making this show a possibility. In 2001, when CGI animation, especially for television, was very primitive when compared to today's media. But that being said, I feel like there are ways, especially at this time, to make primitive CGI look really good. I always use the example that Toy Story is about toys because their CGI at the time couldn't make convincing looking humans. And so having a story with protagonists that are these lifeless dolls makes a lot of sense. And I hope I don't perform another animation exorcism on anybody's brain by bringing up the cartoon Reboot, but Reboot is another CGI show that I loved when I was a kid, and though it has its fair share of horrifying moments and poorly animated sequences, I like to think that it looks better than Cubix because it's stylized. And yes, Cubix is stylized somewhat, but it's not a great art style in my opinion, and it's also not consistent. Anyway, I'm gonna stop complaining about animation. It's self-evident. You can look at it, and you know it's horrifying when you look at it. I appreciate everybody who put their hard work into making it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sorry I have to criticize your art. And do not mistake that Cubix is art.
No.
So pretty quickly, we're introduced to Connor, who is a young boy who loves robots and is really skilled at repairing them. Though his father seems to not like robots for some reason, he decides to move to Bubbletown, a place where robots are celebrated and a place that Connor has been really interested in for years.
We're gonna live in Bubbletown? They have as many robots as people.
You know, Bubbletown, it's not a great name for a robot city, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously, it's better than just being like, welcome to Robot Town. Like, that lacks originality, but Bubbletown is almost too far in the opposite direction. Like, what's the through line? Why is this named, why do you name your towns after bubbles? Like, is there a logic there? I don't know, maybe it's related to the Jetsons. Maybe I shouldn't get so focused on this stuff.
Hey, a boy, your age. I wonder if he's got any robots.
I wonder if he's got any robots? This sounds like what a criminal would say in this world. Robots run everything and are super important and probably still very expensive. If a neighbor moves in on my block, my first thought is not, oh, I wonder how big their TV is. And if I verbalize that thought, I feel like anyone in the surrounding area would assume the worst intentions from me. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Something was still missing.
I miss life before I was a CG monstrosity.
Hundreds of robot drawings and diagrams and... robots are so much more fun when you don't have to memorize everything about them.
Wait a second. I'm pretty sure this is the voice actress for Ash Ketchum. Let's see, IMDb, Cubix. This is not spelt the way I thought it would be. Yep, here it is. Abby is in fact played by Veronica Taylor, the voice of Ash Ketchum.
Fly over, snoop around and find out what you can.
We got robots spying on us.
Dad, wait!
We'll launch a counterattack. Grab something to help flush them out.
All right, I feel like we're supposed to think the dad is going overboard trying to stop this robot. But to be completely fair, Abby is spying on them, which is a crime, at least in my time, right? So in the future, I assume it would be a crime. You remember earlier when I questioned Abby's intentions when asking if they had robots? This is exactly why. You don't want your neighbors snooping inside of your garage. Abby is not coming off very well in this episode. I just realized these houses, it looks like the neighborhood from Cool Cat Saves the Kids.
Oh no, look! It's Push the Bully! Patrick Graffiti, our neighbors!
If you're familiar with that Oscar bait film.
We should tell our parents and teachers about this!
So after Connor is introduced to Abby through spying on him, the two are introduced to the bodies. And by that I'm saying bot-ease, not bodies, but bot-ease. A group of robot enthusiasts who repair robots. And this isn't just a fan club for robots, but it's also a potential job opportunity for Connor. But to join the group, Connor is challenged to repair one robot as an initiation.
Connor should have to pass the initiation, just like we did.
That's right. He has to do what everybody else has to.
You must don the coffin cloak, and then use this dagger to draw your own blood and drip it into the chassis of a robot friend.
Pass the initiation. Pass the initiation. Pass the initiation.
All right, then I want to try to fix that one.
To join the group, Connor is challenged to repair one robot, and instead of going the easy route, he chooses instead the mysterious robot in the corner of the room known only as Cubix.
Cubix?
This doesn't really have anything to do with anything, but Cubix is a robot with a goatee, I'm pretty sure.
You think she's gonna eat 8 donuts?
Thank you for waiting,
Robots.
So at the start of the video, I briefly talked about how it's confusing to me how robots are integrated into the world, but at the very least, it seems like robots share like human-like intelligence. So it seems a little messed up that someone just openly hates robots. At first, I was gonna say that maybe his wife was killed by a robot, and that's why he hates robots. But now I'm just starting to think that maybe his partner broke up with him because of his archaic views on artificial intelligence. I don't know, maybe it's just supposed to be a cheap joke. Maybe I'm not supposed to be thinking about this character's motivation so much.
I thought robots were supposed to be smart.
Guess breakfast is on me.
Wait, I think I know this voice actress too. Let's check really quick. Yep, we have one more. This character right here is played by Rachel Lillis, who is of course the voice of Jessie and Misty from Pokemon, the original series. And you know what? While I'm here...
I suppose there's only one way to find out, isn't there?
That's just Meowth. Yeah, I just checked it. Dr. K is played by the voice actress who plays Meowth in Pokemon. I don't know how to say it. Madeline Blostein. I'm sorry, I'm not saying your name right, but I appreciate all your voice acting, I swear. You know what? Let's just round it out really quickly. Let's see if we got any more Pokemon voice actors here.
There's nothing much back here, bud.
That's Taya from Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? Am I right? Yep, I'm right. It's also Max from Pokemon. Thank you, Amy Birnbaum. Man, I need to get better at reading anything, but reading names specifically. That is amazing. There's so many Pokemon voice actors here. I mean, with all this voice talent, it's essentially the same show. Why is Pokemon so popular when Cubix has all of the same qualities? I don't know. What could be the reason why Cubix wasn't as popular as Pokemon? A mystery for another day, I suppose. Also, Cubix has a 6.0 out of 10 on IMDb, so we're in for a treat. So Connor tries his best to fix Cubix, but he's not able to do so in time. There's this whole subplot with Dr. K, a villain that I'm sure will be very important in the future of Cubix. But long story short, he attacks the body's headquarters, and to Connor's surprise, Cubix is alive. Why are you holding the kid like Superman holds Lois Lane? Put the child down, Cubix. Whatever Connor did to fix the robot potentially worked, and now Cubix can punch things. Oh, never mind. That's not a goatee. That's an upside down triangle, I guess. I don't know. I guess it was unrelated to robotic facial hair. So I guess Cubix was the first magical girl. First magical girl ever. So, in the end, Connor joins the bodies, he finally has a robot companion, and his father might be into his boss, I think.
Guess breakfast is on me.
Yeah, that can't be fun. And that's about it for Cubix episode 1. So I'm gonna be completely honest, this really was not a bad first episode. I think the biggest problem with Cubix is in its execution and its presentation. The CG definitely doesn't age well, and honestly, I feel like the CG didn't look that great in 2001 either. I'm not a big fan of the art design or any of the character designs. Really, the only character that works is Cubix. And he really stands out, but like in a bad way. He doesn't look like he makes sense in this world. Like he just doesn't look like the same kind of robot that everybody else is, which I know is the point, but it just, he doesn't fit with all the other character designs. And the human characters, you know, they look like the humans from Toy Story 1, so it's not good. So I'll be the first to admit Cubix looks awful and it will turn a lot of people away. But when you get down to the story, it's pretty efficiently written. Now, of course, it's nothing groundbreaking, but it's competent, which is what I'm looking for in a children's pilot episode. One of the biggest things that stands out to me is that they take the time to set up and pay off the fact that Connor can fix and repair robots. Again, this isn't groundbreaking, but there are certain films aimed at adult audiences that don't even get this setup and payoff concept correctly. So at the end of the day, I think it's pretty cool that when you talk about Cubix episode 1, you can give a pretty competent synopsis very easily. Connor moves into a town that he's always wanted to live in, he meets new friends and goes through trials and tribulations with those people, but most importantly, he's a skilled boy whose talents are rewarded at the end of the episode. It does seem like they're going for the shonen trope where the whole world has robots and the main character just happens to have the best possible robot, but at least in this first episode, it felt like Connor's personal qualities and his strengths were able to succeed at the end of the day. I'll also say that I actually really liked the music. And that's about all the praise that I'll give to this first episode. Cubix! And speaking of music and audio in the episode, while there is some amazing voice talent in this show, I actually really dislike most of the voice acting. Every line sounds like it was delivered with the actor not knowing what context it was in, or just delivered in the most bizarre way possible. Also, for some reason, the dub is really off, which is weird because I think the show was made for the United States. So I don't know what's up with that, honestly. But overall, I still really liked the episode. I'm not saying that everybody should go and watch Cubix, I want to be very clear about that. Like I said, this episode is very competent, which I think is unexpected because of the way the show looks. But other than that quality, I don't think there's a lot that's very unique about the show so far. Maybe there'll be more unique qualities as I continue throughout the series, but episode 1 just feels like another generic animated show made to sell toys. Simplicity is the name of the game, and I don't have a huge issue with it, but again, I'm not necessarily recommending it for people to watch. but it also wasn't awful.
But my dad, I gotta...
Come on!
Stop!
Look, I've always remembered Cubix, but I've remembered it as a joke, a punching bag. It's my trump card when I want to make somebody laugh at just really bizarre looking animation. But I gotta give credit where credit is due. It may not look very good, but at least it has a very competent first episode. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. I want to thank you so much for watching. If for some reason you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and to subscribe to my channel for more. If you want to watch me play video games live, you can check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/carrotscraps. And I'm also at carrotscraps on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Why was Pokemon so popular, and why did Cubix? I can't put that in the main episode, but that's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. That's disgusting. And then I'm thinking of Robots for Everyone, the slogan with that different name. Oh my gosh, that's gross. That's so gross.